it's a people, it's a community, it's a life, it's a heart, it's a spirit.
Parents of gay children say, I want my son, my gay son, to have the same opportunity to come to me and say, hey, Dad, I'm getting married, as my non-gay son or my non-gay daughter.
The heck would you want a picture of a tattoo of $1,000 on your penis for?
You might just need to satisfy yourself sexually alone at that point.
Do I regret it? Not one bit. Did I think that I would actually take it to the next step and do it again?
And what goes into their life, how they handle it. There are 12 houses, and each one of those houses has a particular function.
Look into yourself, think about it, and just be whoever it is that speaks to you.
Hello and welcome to Talking About. My name is John Griffith, and today I have a rising singing sensation with me, Liz Clark. Welcome.
Thank you.
So, you're pretty much all over the place these days, traveling a lot.
Yeah.
So it's good meeting a lot of interesting people and
Definitely.
Taking them to new places and just getting your message out.
Yeah, definitely. I've been all over. Just even in the last 6 months or something, I've been in Ireland and England and
wow.
all through the Midwest. And I just went to Utah last week, and it's been crazy.
So that's great. So it's, I mean, a lot of good things are happening.
Yeah.
A lot of successes coming your way.
I hope so. Yeah.
So,
yeah.
But that's the now.
Yes.
And every story has a beginning. So I just kind of want to start with yours.
Okay.
So you knew that you wanted to pursue music from what age?
I guess I was about 12 when I found my dad's old guitar, and he hadn't used it in years, and it was in a closet, and I was a giant Beatles fan, and I decided I'd learn every Beatles song known to man.
Oh, wow.
And my dad, who kind of lost his dream of playing guitar, he's one of those guys that got a guitar and never played it, and realized his daughter could play it. He was the one who set up some gigs for me. He called up this Irish pub in Denver, from Denver, Colorado, and said, hi, I have a 12-year-old daughter, and he just wanted to drink, I think, but he said, could she come and play these gigs, and can she do an open mic, is what he asked first. So he said, well, you have to be there because she is a minor, so we bring the whole family down.
Okay.
And I played about 6 songs, all originals at that point. And then the owner of that little bar said, well, will you come back every Tuesday and I'll pay you $15?
Oh.
And that was like, great, I am in the music industry, So.
That's great. So this is at 12 years old?
Yep, so that was it. I've been playing gigs ever since.
So were you completely self-taught?
Yes, well, I took piano lessons like every young, good girl should.
Okay.
And then once I discovered guitar, piano wasn't as cool anymore. But now piano's extremely cool, and I'm really glad that I got the lessons in. So I never got guitar lessons, but I'm way better at piano, and I love to have both instruments now on stage when I play.
Okay.
Yeah, so.
See, if I'd known that a little bit earlier, I would have had a keyboard over here.
Oh well.
Next time, so for that, you're just going to have to come back because you are going to perform later on in the show.
Yes, I am. Yeah.
So, okay, so well, there's a couple of years between 12 and now, at least 2 or 3.
Yes, at least 2 or 3.
At least 2 or 3.
Okay, I'm 26. Yeah. So I guess what happened is eventually I just played every place in Colorado that you could possibly play.
Okay.
And I was about 21 and just sort of really sick of living in the place that I grew up, as most good 21-year-olds should.
Right.
And decided to move to New York City and kind of see what inspiration I could draw and see if I could meet many new contacts or anything like that.
But
So
was that sort of a little bit of a shock to the system, being a big fish in a little pond, to the cold streets of New York?
I think so, definitely. Yeah, but I think also I was just feeling like a rebel, and anything to get out of Colorado was good at that point. So I felt really cool to be in New York, and yeah, I don't know. It definitely was a shock, and I had to just start working so hard. I was working at Guitar Center and working at let's see, just like nightclubs, being the coat check girl, you know, just like doing every job that you possibly could to just make rent happen and that kind of thing.
Right, but playing all along.
Definitely playing everywhere I could play and making lots of friends. And now it's been 5 years since I've been here, so I've really made some wonderful friends, and I love New York for all that. So.
Through all the changes in the move, was your style growing and evolving along the way?
Yeah, definitely. I think once you move into the little fish in a big pond, then you get to see all the amazing talent that's out there, and there's just a lot of heart and a lot of artistic personalities and lots of creativity in New York. So that's really inspiring. And in Colorado there are those people too, but there's just less of them, and they're more, you know, working class kind of people, and
right.
You know, so I definitely inspired by New York and LA.
If you were to say put the first recording that you were really enthusiastic about to something off the new album, which we're gonna go into more detail and discuss in just a second.
Okay.
What changes would you say have occurred in your style?
Well, my first recording, I was probably about 18 or something, and I didn't really know what I was doing in the studio, and I just had a couple friends that we were in a band, and and I had little songs that I wrote, and we had really cheap studio time and all that. So it's changed quite a lot, even just sonically, speaking.
I mean, technology has changed as
well. And technology, yeah, and it's a lot easier to record cheap now and have it sound really good. So, so this CD actually has a producer that kind of comes in and helps just kind of hone in the songs, and there's just a higher level of musicianship, and the musicians on there are good, and I've obviously grown as an instrumentalist and a singer, I would hope, and but then also as a lyricist, I think just once you get older, you just begin to pick up more metaphors about life, and you learn things and get your heart broken, and so I would say I've probably grown a lot.
So, and the disc is called Pursuits.
It's called Pursuit, yeah.
And just your own personal growth and where you are when you're writing and recording is, in most artists, it's reflected in the work.
Yes, yeah, it's definitely autobiographical. And this album, I feel like this is kind of like a melting of ice a little bit. The album right before this was one called Hand on the Stove, and it was kind of a good defiant breakup album, that everybody needs one of those in their collection. And this one is sort of about falling in love again, and kind of just letting more emotions come out, and being present with who you are now, and being a little unsure and being okay with that, and kind of, so it's a bit softer and a bit more, I don't know, lovely or something. But I don't know if that's the right word to call it.
So that would probably indicate that you're at a similar place in your life where things are going well personally as well as professionally.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So that's always good. That's always good.
Right.
And I love the defiant stuff, and I love the feel good stuff.
Right.
And but feel good is good.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's also though it's at a point where it's not comfortable to fall in love and give up a part of yourself. So that's a lot about what that album is about, too. So it's not all good, but it's definitely, it just explores those feelings of what you have to give up to let your heart feel more or something. I don't know.
I mean, well, how difficult is it to expose that part of yourself to an audience, or even in recording where it's a more limited audience, but to get on stage and that it's revealing a part of yourself, and just to lay that bare before a crowd.
Right. Well, I feel like I usually know that it's a pretty good song if I feel a little embarrassed about revealing it to people, and I think that's only because you don't often get to talk to people every day about your innermost feelings, and it's pretty vulnerable anyway. But if you're but it is probably, if it kind of cuts close to the skin in some way and it makes me feel a little bit vulnerable in that way, it's probably pretty good, because people don't get to do that often.
Right.
I think people kind of react to that. And even though I'm not talking directly to them or singing directly to them, it's still, people always know what I'm talking about. And they've had their own instances too. So.
Right. Especially, yeah, if I can tell that you're telling the truth.
Exactly. Yeah. Definitely. I think that's the biggest thing, is if I'm so embarrassed almost because it is the truth, that's the very best thing you could almost be, you know.